Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous day. Today I wanted to come on here and share my luxury wish list with you. Now I know that this video has been going around and I definitely wanted to join in on the fun and share some of these items with you. Now some of them have been on my wish list for quite some time and others have come and gone, but that's the great thing about wish lists, that you can add and subtract as much as you want without spending a dime, especially if you're indecisive like I am. And usually I tend to be pretty organized, I try to keep my eyes on the prize, but lately I feel like I'm all over the place. So I wanted to share my thought process with you and really maybe some hesitations that I've had as to why I haven't necessarily added these items to my collection yet. So I hope that you enjoy this video. If you do, make sure and give it a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get started. Let's start this off with a bag that I have been drooling over for the last couple of months. Actually, it's closer to a year now. I recently posted a picture of it on my Instagram, if you guys follow me, and that is the Louis Vuitton Vivienne. This bag is absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous. Every time I go into the boutique, my eyes immediately go towards it, and I've tried it on so many different times that I'm sure that Lauren, my sales associate in Fashion Valley, she's probably sick and tired of me trying it on. She's probably thinking, why don't you buy it already? And I've talked about it multiple times, but I love the color. Now the color that I showed you guys that's on the website, it really doesn't do it justice because it looks like it's almost like bronzy brown green, but it is this beautiful rich khaki, like an army green, and then when you have that gold tone hardware, I feel that it really complements it. I do like the noir, but I prefer the khaki. And also, it's small, but it fits a crazy amount of items. I mean, crazy. I did a vlog, I think 2 months ago, and I showed just how much you can end up fitting in there. It fits all of my daily essentials, and I still have room left over. And because I can end up using it crossbody, which is the way that I would normally end up using this bag, not necessarily as a shoulder bag, but it makes it very comfortable to be able to carry a little bit more with you without it, feeling like you're carrying bricks with you or anything like that. So it does have, it has a whole lot of pros to it. The con, it's a little expensive, and usually when it comes to Louis Vuitton, I tend to stick to their canvas. I'm crazy about their canvas, and when it comes to leather, I end up going for other fashion houses. So I'm a little bit nervous about moving in that direction, although the leather of this bag is insane. It is just, it is just jaw-droppingly gorgeous. So, I just kind of have to get that out of my mind. Another thing that kind of sets me back is the color. Now, even though, like I said before, I'm a huge fan of the color, it's the one that I'm attracted to the most. I have had the worst luck with colored handbags in my collection in the past. And usually, if I go for a colored handbag, I love it. I cannot wait to use it. But when push comes to shove, I end up going for a black bag or I end up going for a brown bag over any other colored handbag that I have. So I'm kind of nervous about spending that amount of money on a colored handbag that I might use for a little bit and then completely fall out of love with it. And then we all know how it comes to the resale, the resale market with a colored handbag. You have to find that specific buyer for that color versus a black one or anything like that. So I don't know. Those are just some of the things that go through my mind, but man, is it gorgeous. It's so comfortable. And the logo, it's a little bit big, but I still feel that it is just a stunning bag, So maybe I'll go for it. I don't know, but as of right now, it's on the wish list and it's a potential maybe. I'm like 50-50 on it. Even though my preference is Louis Vuitton for canvas, I really like this bag because it's a tote. It has the color treated leather, so I don't have to worry about water stains. I don't have to worry about patina or anything like that. It comes with the little pouch, and I feel that this is a bag that I can incorporate into my daily lifestyle because I'm such a casual dresser. I'm kind of undecided on the colors. I really like the Bordeaux because I feel that it's not overwhelming, and you guys know how I feel about reds, red shades in general. And I like the fact that, like I said before, it's not an overwhelming color, and because it has that print, it just kind of breaks it up a little bit. But then I also really like the noir because that's kind of my safe color. But I lean more towards the Bordeaux. But I really want to add this bag to my collection. And I know that we have a trip coming up, so hopefully I'll get the opportunity to buy it when we're there. And I'm also really intrigued on the difference between a Louis Vuitton Neverfull, because that is one of my all-time favorite bags, and the Goyard, kind of going a head-to-head comparison between them. So I really like the fact that I can also add a little variety to my collection in that sense by going with the St. Louis tote. But I really love this bag. And like I said before, it's been on there. I took it off. I did some research and then it went right back on there, because some people have also told me that they've experienced that the handles end up peeling very quickly, and that they ended up expecting better quality for the price point that it has, because it is a little bit more expensive than a Louis Vuitton Neverfull. But still, I'm very intrigued by it, and it is staying on the wish list for now. Now the next one is a little bit newer to my wish list, and really it's a huge thanks to Jerusha, because I had an idea of the one that I wanted to add to my collection, and when I was hanging out with her this past November, I really got a chance to try it out, and I'm talking about the Celine Nano luggage tote. I've had a little bit of a rocky start with Celine, only because I've had two of their beautiful bags, but they didn't end up working out for my lifestyle because they were a little bit overwhelming on my body frame. So I had kind of thought about going for a micro, since I've had the Phantom and I've had the mini luggage. So I thought about going for the micro, but then when I saw Jerusha's Nano and I got to try it on, it's the perfect size because I can still end up using it crossbody, so it makes it a little bit more versatile, and you can still fit quite a bit of items in there. So I really like that fact. Instead of going for the micro that was strictly the hand carry, I really appreciate the versatility of the Nano. So thanks to her. So if you're watching this, Jerusha, thank you so much, because it really solidified my decision in going for a Nano. And again, I'm kind of stuck between the black that I just shared with you guys or that red. That red is stunning, and I like the drum leather. So I'm I might even go the pre-loved route for this one, just because of the experience that I've had with Celine as far as buying them brand new at the boutiques. But I really am looking for, if I do go the pre-loved route, I might end up going for the red, because the red just adds a really nice pop of color, and it's also not an overwhelming, bag as far as size for me to go for a solid color. Because like I said, the black is always my safe color, but this one I'm literally split on the colors. I like them both. I always end up gravitating towards the red, but I end up walking out with the black. That's what I'm saying. I'm like 50 shades of crazy. I can't make up my mind. But as long as I have them on the wish list, I'm okay until I can really focus on which color is my preference and which one I'm going to go for. So this bag is so cute, and it fits a ton, so very versatile. So I'm excited to add this hopefully to my collection sometime this year. Again, with the versatility, you know how I feel about that. But the Louis Vuitton Felicie, I think that this bag is awesome, and it offers a lot for the price point that it has. And even though it's available in an array of different textures in different colors, my heart sings for the Empreinte Noir. I think that it is beautiful, and like I said, I feel that it's, for lack of a better phrasing, you get a lot of bang for your buck, because this bag, you can end up taking the chain off completely and you can use it as a clutch, or if you put the chain back on, you can put it as a shoulder bag, you can put it on as a crossbody bag, even though it ends up sitting a little bit higher up on my torso. But it also comes with those two inserts that you can use inside of another handbag. So I feel like the possibilities are endless when it comes to this bag. And even though, yes, it is very similar to my Chanel wallet on chain, you guys know how I feel about the wallet on chain. It's one of my favorite small leather goods. So to have a Louis Vuitton version of it really, really makes me happy. But as far as when I see myself getting this, I'm not in a hurry to add it to my collection by any means whatsoever. Maybe they end up introducing another color instead of the noir that I end up leaning more towards. But if I end up getting it, it'd probably be later on in the year if I do end up like I said before, if I do end up going for it. But for now, it is on the wish list because of the versatility. The versatility, I will talk about it till the cows come home. I'll be honest with you, I'm still 50-50 when it comes to the Chanel Coco handle. I absolutely love the silhouette that this has, the structure that it has. It's very classic, it's very chic, and now that they added it to their permanent lineup, that makes me even happier. As far as sizing goes, I'd go for the small size just because I feel that some of the other ones are a little bit too overwhelming for my body frame, and I still feel that I can end up getting away with carrying quite a few items inside if I go for the small. And the only thing, I wouldn't go for the lizard handle. That's not my preference. I'd end up going for a different type of leather or a different type of texture for the handle. But I just think that this is gorgeous. Now, even though I showed you the red or the Bordeaux, I think it's a beautiful color and I like the combination with the gold. I would end up going for a black on this one, because I know that if I ended up using it, if I ended up incorporating it into my lifestyle, it's one of those bags that I know I would be happy I'd go with black because it's universal, for me anyways. So I like some of the colors that this is available in, but for me it would have to be the black caviar leather with either the brushed gold hardware or the gold hardware, because I think that it is a beautiful combination. It's timeless, it's classic, it's not going anywhere, because it's not a tote, it's not strictly just a crossbody bag. It's kind of the best of all worlds. And you have it incorporated into one bag, so it makes it a lot easier to use all the time, you know, for your lifestyle. So I think that this bag is beautiful. Hopefully I'll get the opportunity to add this bag to my collection in the future, but as far as when that's going to happen, I don't see it happening within the next 5, 6, 7 months, because I am trying to focus. I am trying to put all of my attention onto the next one, and that is the Chanel reissue. I have decided on the size, I have decided on the hardware, and I have decided on the leather. I think that this bag is beautiful. I want to go for the 226 in the black calfskin leather with the gold hardware, because I really like that combination. And even though I know I have, you know, I have a lot of black and gold when it comes to Chanel, like I said, that's my preference. That's something that I end up gravitating towards. And this is a bag that I sincerely feel will end up rivaling my medium large, because I am the biggest fan of the medium large. It's one of my forever pieces, but I just have a feeling, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you just know when that bag that you're lusting after, that you're wanting, and that you keep thinking about and researching and watching videos over and over, like so obsessively, to the point obsessively where it's creepy. I mean, I have a feeling, you know, but I love this bag. And I also like the fact that it's the distressed leather. I don't have to, you know, it's not about making sure that this bag stays in pristine condition. I want it to look worn. I want it to look used. And I thought in the beginning to go for going the brand new route. Now that is no longer an option for me, because the price point is astronomical for my own taste. But I will be going pre-loved when it comes to this bag. And I have alerts on all these different websites. As soon as it comes in, that it'll pop up, and hopefully I'll get a chance to get it. So this is really my number one handbag that I have my eye on, because even though, like I said, they're not in really any particular order that I'm sharing with you, this is the one that I have my eye on the most. This is the one that I have been literally obsessing over for the last, I don't know, couple of months, year to add to my collection. But it's not about having it look pristine and making sure that the leather looks this way. I want it to look old. I want it to look worn, you know, and I feel that that would really add to the joy of being able to use it without having to worry about it being perfect all the time or anything like that. I want to enjoy a bag. I want to enjoy these pieces, not to try to put them in a bubble, but because I want to really just feel like I don't have to worry about anything type of situation. You know what I mean? So the Chanel reissue, the 226 in the black calfskin leather with the gold hardware, I am all about this bag. And I also like the fact that you can just smash it down if you wanted to put it inside of your luggage or whatever. I don't know, but I love all the details about this bag. There's so many details on it that go back to Coco Chanel that I really appreciate about it. So that's another thing that really just makes my heart sing for it. So, yep, that's the one that I have my eyes on. Will that happen? I hope so. I really hope so. I'm hoping to add it to my collection within the next 2 to 3 months. Maybe. I think that this bag is beautiful. It's simple. It doesn't have logos everywhere. The craftsmanship really speaks for itself. And also, I like the fact that I can use it as a hand carry bag, or I can put it on the crook of my arm, and I can still carry quite a few items inside. Now, as far as the sizes go, I prefer to go for the 30 just because of my body frame. I feel that it's not too overwhelming and I can still carry quite a bit. And there's also there's so many different colors to choose from and different leathers as well. So I'm still undecided on the leather. But as far as the color, at first I thought about going for this in black, but then I figured, no, I have black bags from other fashion houses. Why am I going to go for a black with this one? So once upon a time I did see a Bordeaux that they had at the boutique, and it was just beautiful. And I also like the gold. So I'm kind of stuck between those two. I mean, ideally the red would be great, but I know from my own personal taste, I'd more so go for the gold just because it also adds variety to my collection. I don't have to worry about it clashing necessarily with something else that I'm wearing if I decide to wear a really vibrant color. I feel that it really complements my outfit altogether. So I'm really leaning towards the gold on this one. I think it's beautiful. And again, the simplicity that it has. And let's be honest, for the price point that this bag has, and it being an Hermes handbag, that is crazy because you get to still experience the craftsmanship and the beauty and the gorgeous leather that this fashion house is known for without having to spend a crazy, an astronomical price point on a bag or anything like that. So I'm really excited about the garden party. And as far as when I would add it to my collection, who knows? You know, that's one that's far off in the future. But I know that this bag, like I said, has been on my wish list before, and I just think that it is beautiful, and it would add a nice variety to my collection as well. I think this is such a cute wallet. My goodness, every time I see it, I'm just like so attracted to it. I'm so drawn to it. And it's been quite some time since I've added a Louis Vuitton wallet to my collection because normally I end up going for Chanel, but I just really like the fact that this is a trifold. I also like the monogram with the rose ballerine. I think it makes for a beautiful combination. And you're also not limited to just 1 or 2 credit card slots or anything like that. You can end up fitting an entire, like a large size wallet inside of this little guy. So I really like it. I know when I was at the boutique the other day, I checked it out and I decided to pass on it for the moment because I ended up picking up something else. I'm very attracted to this style of wallet because it's not huge. You know what I mean? I can still end up fitting this inside of my smaller handbags if need be. Just hear me out on the vintage, all right? Because I know some of you are looking at me like, wait, what? Okay, so I have talked about this probably for the last 2.5, 3 years, if not a little bit longer, about wanting to add a vintage Speedy 25 to my collection from my birth year. And I know that might sound super crazy to some of you guys, but just to be able to have a handbag from my birth year on a fashion house that I'm just so crazy about, I really like that, you know. And I have seen some that are from my birth year. Of course, the older I get, the harder it is to find them in pretty good condition, because I have seen some where the canvas is just it's just bad. It's just shot to hell. I want something that's a little bit better, you know, that's not cracking or anything like that. If it has, pretty dark leather, I'm okay with that because it's the leather. I would not replace the leather, and I would rock that bag. It's not like a bag that I would just throw on my shelf and say, oh, it's a decoration piece. Not at all. Like I said, it's getting harder and harder to find them. I find quite a few from like the early 90s, but it's a little bit harder when you start getting into the 80s, you know what I mean? And for it to be in pretty good condition. I'm not asking for it to be in pristine condition, although that would be amazing. But you know how I feel about adding another chapter to a handbag and the characteristics that it has and the beauty marks. They all tell a story. And I know some of you might be thinking I'm a total nutcase, you know, I've lost my marbles, but I am legitimately a handbag freak, a handbag addict, and to have a handbag from my birth year, I think would be amazing. You know, just to add more history to that bag is just, I think it would be absolutely fabulous. The last item that I want to share with you guys is actually at the very top of my wish list. It's not the next item that I want to add to my collection, kind of like what I talked about with the reissue, but it's more so at the very top because I'm saving it for a special birthday. I'm saving it for a big birthday of mine, and that's something that I'm going to be splurging on when that time comes. So I have many, many, many years for that day to come, but still, it's at the very top. But I am talking about a Rolex Datejust 36mm watch. This watch makes me smile from ear to ear. I have tried it on a few times. I actually went in and tried on a few different sizes, and I really like the way that the 36 ends up laying on my wrist. But this is an investment piece. This is something that I can really end up passing down from generation to generation, and it never ever goes out of style. And if there's one thing that I love just as much as handbags, those are watches. I'm the type of person that when I go out, when I get dressed, if I don't have my watch on, I feel completely naked, you know, as opposed to any other accessory that I have for jewelry. When it comes to not having a watch on, I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I'm not fully dressed. And that's always the way that I've been since I can remember. So handbags and watches, they go hand in hand as far as something that I've always been a fan of, something that I've always been attracted to. And I really owe it to my dad because he's also a watch fan, a watch addict. But the Rolex, I like the combination of this one. I like the size that it has. And I don't want the diamonds on there. I know some people prefer the diamonds, but for me, I want something a little bit more simple. And at first I thought about going for solely one color hardware or for one type of metal, but I prefer the two-tone just because I can really end up using it with any other jewelry that I use. And not having to worry that it doesn't match or it looks a little bit out of place or anything like that. So the 36mm Datejust is just, oh man, it is a beautiful, beautiful watch, and I cannot wait to have my hands on it, you know, but the reason why I'm waiting for the big birthday is because I feel that it will make it that much more special as opposed to getting it for a birthday now or for this type of gift or that type of gift. It's something that I want to get for myself when I turn, when I have my big birthday, because it will just have that much more meaning behind it. And that's how I feel about timepieces, well, as far as with the price points that these have, right? But when it comes to heirloom pieces, it just makes me happy that I can add stories behind it and just kind of like what I've talked about with handbags. I am all about telling a story. I am all about, the history behind that item and how it came to be in my collection or how it came to be part of my life type of thing. I don't know. It might be a little bit silly, but it's something that has a lot of meaning to me. All right, you guys, so that does it for my wish list. These are just some of the items that I have on there because realistically, my wish list is forever long. And if we went through that, we would be here. We would be here till the cows come home, you know what I mean? But I would love to hear your guys' opinion on any of the items that I talked about. If you own them, do you love them? Did you get rid of it because of X, Y, and Z or what have you? I feel that the more information that's out there, the better, especially if some of you guys are looking to add some of these items to your collections as well. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And I might see you guys one more time. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.